Welcome to another Tuesday traumatic displacement day in Denver, Colorado. Doesn't it ever end? Stop the sweeps, Mayor Hancock. Stop the sweeps. Okay. So we're on a so tired of carrying around so much crap in my car. So it's getting chilly. This is the first day of fall, right? Hey, finally made it. Finally made it. I've got some mac and cheese. Mac and cheese and eggs. Sausage. Yeah. Mac and cheese. Okay. Oh, what are those little... What is that? I gotta have one of those. Thank you. How are you? Are you hungry, honey? Yes. Okay. So I've got some eggs, sausage. I forgot to put some potatoes in there, Maria. And then mac and cheese. Oh, you got it? Yep. Sure? Yeah. Here, nice to put you a napkin in here. Which one you want one of these? Here? Mm-hmm. There you go. Look at this. You want some eggs? Yes, definitely. And some mac and cheese too? Mm-hmm. Okay. Hot food. You betcha. Yes. Oh, sorry. There's chicken in there too. It smells really good. It smells good. Oh no, I dropped my macaroon.
Alright, I like kombucha a lot. I like that.
I just have so much crap in my car.
Huh?
I just have so much crap in my car.
Well, I was just wondering if you needed help with whatever. Thank you.
How are you doing?
Okay.
You're doing okay? Are you over here?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got everything out, or?
Yeah, I think he's going to be coming back with somebody's going to come back with a truck.
You got some vehicle support?
Somebody, yeah.
Yeah, good. So. Good. Okay, good. Honey, what you doing?
That's
So,
not too bad.
yeah, enjoy the food, honey.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You don't have to smoke cigarettes, do you?
Of course I do. Unfortunately, I have one to spare for you.
Thank you so much. Like I lost like I just got a job that I lost like one of my checks.
Yes.
Lost over like what was it?
You lost one of the checks here today?
And then I lost some of the money to my check.
Oh.
It was like $40 or $60. Fell out of my pocket. But that's how I'm looking like it's kind of hard on six.
Really?
But thank you.
I'll have one too. The other one.
But if so what do you do on your? Cause I want to start doing some videos and stuff like that. You know.
So, like I said, I just
try to document all these sweeps. Anna, what number is this? What number is this? 90 something, right? For the year? So last year they did a total of 34 sweeps last year. It's 17 the year before. This year we're up to 90 something. So how many? What? 89.
89.
Number 89 traumatic displacements. Number like the
Traumatic
sweeps in Denver. So these sweeps that they're doing
89.
so far this year. 89. They did 34 last year. 17 the year before. We're at 89. We're at 89. So yeah, and we call them traumatic displacements because that's what it is.
It's very traumatic. I'm not even gonna lie.
So how many?
So
how many times? How long have you been in Denver?
Since 2014.
Yeah.
And I really want to talk to someone about it because I think really need help because I lived at the Cater Place Apartments.
You lived where?
At the Cater Place Apartments.
Yes.
And they had a fire and it flooded out my apartment. And
Which could happen to anybody.
yeah, they just dried out the carpet.
Yes.
They didn't uproot it. I stayed there a year and a half. My daughter stayed there for about 4 months.
Did you get mold?
Yeah. And had
you're right
a
here.
little bit of substance of.
Are you on TV? Please don't see us.
Yeah, you're not on TV, honey.
But, and then had somebody who was going through homelessness who I felt bad for come and move in, and he had substance abuse issue. So with him smoking with the mold too, it just surrounded the home, and with me or whatever doing that. But it turned into like a whole mental psychosis episode thing to where I was getting up every day doing the same exact activities. And instead of doing other things, they towed my car a couple of times.
Right, and so then
Like,
you
it got real bad. The mold got real bad in my system mentally.
yeah.
Along with a little bit of like a addiction habit, whatever.
Sure.
That I've been to like Denver Health. I've tried all the addiction places or whatever, but.
So you were housed at that point, and then all the things that you went through, and you ended up getting evicted, and so.
But the mold situation is still going on in my mind.
It started out with a fire in your apartment.
Yeah, so they should have to sue them, but it's hard to sue them when your mind is still messed up. And it's hard for me to fill out the paperwork.
So, have you met Anna? So Anna is with Denver Homeless Out Loud. We'll talk to Anna and she might be able to give you some resources.
Okay, and if you do a lot on trauma, like I've been through a lot of things in there.
Talk to her, she's got resources. Okay. Yeah, have you heard of Denver Homeless Out Loud? Yeah, so yeah, she's with Denver Homeless Out Loud, so she's a really good resource.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Guys, I ended the sorry guys, I ended the stream prematurely, like I usually do. If I'm not messing with my tripod, because I can't. We all love Virya. Somebody's over there like, sorry. We all love Virya. We all love Virya.
Huh?
I said we all love Virya. She gives out cigarettes and
Yeah, one more
food.
time.
We all love Virya.
Very loves the song.
She does. We all love it. It's a love fest.
You should start
It's a love fest.
vlogging. Hey, you guys should start. You should start vlogging.
I sent
You don't have time? Oh, turning
I
around.
did all the calculations
Looking at my
for what a
face.
recall would need for a recall election order. Majority of them less than 5,000 people. Pretty much all of them. Several of them less than 3,000. Yeah, it's less than 3,000%.
Who are we recalling?
The city council.
except for Councilwoman Steve DeBacca.
Yes, I know. I agree.
They all gotta go.
They all gotta go. I mean, if you sit in a city council meeting, it's all.
But the hard
Yeah,
ones,
until you get to city meetings, they're all.
the hard,
They're all yes men with no balls.
Yes, men with no balls.
the at-large people require close to 20,000, so they're not realistic to have seats.
the two at larges are
Oh, are they?
The two at larges. Who are
Oh, okay.
Who are those two?
term ends this next coming up election, so you don't need to recall them.
And which two of those? Do you remember?
The two at large.
It's the at-large.
Yeah. So we got.
Oh my god, Kanish had the fucking last of the EHS. Did you listen to it?
Yes, I was there.
Oh,
Nobody
wait.
wanted to sit in the front row with me. I was like,
Oh.
I'm not gonna bite you. You can sit.
Yeah, no, Kanish questioning the cop about. My favorite part was when she called him commander and he corrected her and said it was chief. But she straight up, like, he didn't answer any of her questions to a satisfactory level, and she still voted in favor of it. She straight up exposed, like, fraudulent billing by the police and scheduling by the police department.
No matter.
And no, still voted in favor of it.
Oh man.
They said,
That's the problem with her, particularly, is that she has some really great questioning, but when it comes time to like deliver, you know, she's just she takes the safe route.
Yeah. That sounds like
You know,
her.
she's not a leader.
No.
well, none of them are really.
Well, Candy is.
I don't know. I'm not
She's
a fan
willing to
of
go
her.
out there. I mean, she's at least willing to try things, right? Like,
Yes.
if she fails, then at least you can't say she didn't try, right?
yes.
And that's how we learn, is by often by trial and error, figuring out what works.
Exactly.
And if we try nothing, we'll never get anywhere.
Yes. Exactly.
Well, one of their main points was that it would take a year to find another contractor to do this if it wasn't EHS. And basically saying there were no other options.
There are options, and I don't think they're considering the fact that the EHS contract, they're thinking that like there's this high level of hazardous waste accountability, but there's not. The EHS contract there's actually two. There's one that's for that hazardous waste that has the higher legal disposal issue, right? But this contract is not that contract. This contract has a lower level,
Okay.
which could be done by someone else.
Yes.
Right? And we could even use some of the existing city services to patch it, because this particular contract doesn't have those clauses in it. And they did it on purpose so that it would be a lower dollar amount.
Yeah.
So it is possible. It's possible to piece it together. They just don't want to. They don't want to do the work. They're fucking lazy.
And you
And on the very next day after the contract was
Yes.
fucking signed, the very next day, EHS showed up blasting the song Loser. When it was over, they blasted it again.
Again.
And then I had 3 reports from 3 different people at that encampment saying that EHS was walking around saying things like, if you would get your shit together, I wouldn't have to come here and pick up all your garbage.
Yes.
So the very next day, right, so you can fuck city council all you want,
Yes.
and they will do absolutely nothing.
Yes.
They will actually renew your contract if you are a bad actor.
Exactly.
So do whatever the fuck you want, because city council can't be held accountable and has no fucking backbone.
Well, their main point
It
was
was-
that they couldn't find another contractor, and in the same course of discussion, the city employees that were answering questions disclosed there were multiple contracts, except we chose the cheapest one. No one else was close to being that cheap. So they literally, admitted there were other options while saying there were no other options. And in reality, it was like the one contract that they accepted was the cheap one. So that was just phenomenal. Like the city, in particular, the city employees that were answering questions had so few answers. They were tripping over themselves. And that woman,
they didn't fucking know they don't know what they're doing. They were saying that Adam Abeda is in charge of this. He has been to 2 sweeps, and one of them he rolled up on his Harley for 5 minutes and then rolled back out. So he is not here. If you want to know what is happening here, they should have fucking talked to Ralph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that we see eye to eye on things, but if there's someone who's actually here every fucking
He's
time,
here every
it's
time.
Ralph.
Yeah. He's here and proud to be here, but he's here.
But
But
at
he's
least
here.
he's here, right?
Yes,
at least
he's here.
he can speak to experience.
Yes.
Not talking out of his ass.
It's my dead mom. That's why. It might have been moved.
But
Look, his dead mom stuff is missing, and he doesn't know anything about it. It's just wonderful. This is exactly
They
what
probably trashed him.
You know, that's exactly what you were talking about the other day.
yeah, so I think Ralph would have been really problematic to them because he probably would have said, I hate doing this. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, I
also,
wrote to city council and I said, if you want to know what's going on, you need to talk to me.
you should have invited him yourself, maybe. He should have been there at your invitation, not as a city employee. But,
I would like to talk to him even now. I've been trying to
What's
get
that-
close
Well,
to the
isn't there
fence just to
another
talk to him and just say,
opportunity
hey, Ralph,
Yeah.
you got screwed. And I went to city council and said, you're the one they need to talk to.
Well,
And I would
who's-
be happy to facilitate that.
who's the blonde woman?
Marley,
The young one?
attorney,
No, the young blonde woman that comes to sweeps a
in
lot.
the blue,
No, she...
heavy.
Is it Emma or is it she's always talking to Ralph, but she's from outside. She's a default person.
Oh, Lily?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
Oh.
So he always opens up to Lily. I think like
I think Lily reminds him of his daughter.
okay. Well, she should have like tried to get him to go. I think he's really
We didn't think about it, but yeah, I mean,
Or maybe there's a future opportunity for that. Yeah.
and we're always willing to talk to
Right.
Ralph. I mean, we know he's just a human, right?
Right.
But
and I've
he
had
hates
really
it.
great conversations with him. He hates it. He's not qualified to be a social worker. He's a trash guy,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
And he says that.
And
He
he's-
says, I'm a trash guy.
What?
He's limping. Yeah, he's got limping.
Oh, what are they doing with that
Worse,
scooter
I
down
think.
there?
I feel it's deteriorating.
Anna?
What are they doing with that scooter down there?
Well, I
I almost
suspect
want to give him my acupuncturist card.
I don't know.
about the scooter. They can't put the scooter in the dumpster. It's hazardous waste, so
Yeah.
they have to dispose of it a different way.
They're going to dispose of it in a
But
different
I don't know
way.
where it's going.
It's in the back of a truck over there, it looks like.
But yeah, like that woman in particular, the little
That's Ralphie right there.
he looked like someone
Let's see. You can see this.
She was terrified and so nervous about everything.
I hate this fence. Man, I hate this fence, guys.
I think she was fine. Who was asking questions, but the city people, especially that like, you know, the
Can you see? No. Can't see. Jesus. What did they do with this? Scooter went into that truck. It went into the back of the truck
he
for
was
you.
genuinely like constantly
Oh, I
couldn't
have it in
answer
an
a
email.
question.
There's no refuting that he stole our porta potty.
You know, you buy porta potties.
Hearsay. And I was like, nope, here's the email
You try, you
from
know.
the company saying it was Will Fenton.
Yeah, but he was genuinely like one of those people that, you know, it's clearly it's like Tay Anderson similar. Tay Anderson ran for his first like election when he was 18, and there are people who try to work their way through like civil, I guess, what's it called, civil service, and they kind of work their way through the city. or through government roles, and he's one of those guys that's like, the quicker I can get onto my next step, the better. Like, you know, they're graded. It's like GS13 or something. That's like the really high level employment.
I don't know about
like a
Tay. I
GS6.
mean, he's a volunteer position, so I don't know how much he's getting.
Well, he's been running for elections like since he was 18, but a lot.
I met him
of
when he
them-
was a 17-year-old homeless youth, so.
But I Fenton guy kind of strikes me as like, I just want to get this over with and move on to what the fuck I get to do next and get my pay
Him,
raise.
yeah.
And
I
it
mean, I don't see that about Tay, but.
see Tay's walkout. You see the protest they staged against him yesterday.
Yeah, some of them walked past our building, and I was like, I hope you kids are participating in that racist walkout. You're really uneducated. My daughters were organized a counter action at their school, especially since Tay has placed his body to defend them from the police more than once.
Back to the city employee topic though, and I just like, to them it seems like they're not really attached to it. They're not conscious of the decisions they're making. That's the really peculiar part, is you get these like emotional testimonies on our side, and then when the city talk, they just do not care. I mean, Evan Dreyer summarized it probably best. He's like, this is a 2-year contract. We'll be back here in 2 years, so you might as well just pass it. It's like, it doesn't even matter to
Well,
him.
they're completely disconnected from us.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, Adam Abeda, he doesn't go to any street, so he can talk about it very objectively because to him, he might have just read it out of a book.
Yeah.
He has no connection, no attachment to it.
Which one's Adam Abate?
So he's Ralph's boss.
There's a guy, what does he look like?
He had glasses, he's a shorter brown man,
Does he have
like a goatee.
pitch black hair?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I used to see him a lot.
Oh, he has a little bit of gray, mostly in his beard. I can pull up
Okay.
a picture because Lily was making these like really great.
I think I know who you're talking about. He's been to a few. He used to go to the ones in Stout Street, is where I saw him. The ones out near Nemo.
I record every time he shows up, and so do Allies Abolitionists, and
Yeah.
so I have 3 years worth of headphones.
Okay.
And Charlotte Pitt used to be in that position before Adam Abeda, and she used to go to every suite.
That was
Beginning
the
to
blonde
end.
woman.
Beginning to end, she would go to every suite. Lily was just making like
Yeah,
the best
yeah.
faces. This is Adam.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, you have to sit there every time. She's rolling her eyes.
Yeah, no, he's a dickhead. I think I've like
Yes.
filmed him before and
4 wins is soon as it.
for what?
Isn't that sweet?
Do they think they'll get
This is one of the reporters I sent over.
I don't think it registered the thing. That seems to be the only option, is just legal action.
Denver is built on stolen land in violation of sacred treaties, and the mayor's camping ban is continuing its legacy.
Well, what's going to happen when people start getting evicted? I mean, what do they think is going to happen? The thing that's like irritating is, instead of having this social, progressive, leftist movement, in Australia the riots are now by fucking construction workers who want
They
to.
did it in Venezuela, didn't do shit.
It's just
I
like.
mean, 10-year-olds were out in the streets wearing Molotov cocktails. You gotta be pretty hard up to be a fucking 10-year-old in the streets fucking fighting for your freedom. And it was like millions of people in Venezuela took to the streets.
But
And it didn't do
odd.
shit.
It's odd in particular, like in the Western world, that they
Thank you.
You're good. I just trying to help you out.
I'd leave it open. Yeah, because of something more differently. But just, yeah, in Australia, it's like a bunch of construction workers, they're locking down for 2 weeks and they're fucking pissed. And the vaccine mandate for construction workers. But it's like, come on, man. It's just, this vaccine mandate thing is like psychotic.
I fucking sent so I'm on a board for the city, and they said you have to be vaccinated to be on the board. And I was like, I don't work for the city, and I could go remotely. And they're like, you still have to have a vaccine. And I said, I wrote to the whole email, like, which was like 45 people. I said, I prefer to not be forcibly penetrated, but like, will be not. And so then they were like, well, here's the process for an exemption. So I followed the process for an exemption, and then they sent me an email saying, how many vaccines have you gotten since you were an adult? Because we don't believe you're actually. And I was like, fuck you, I've not had any fucking vaccine since I've been 18 years old. And you should be fucking asking me. I filled out your paperwork for fucking exemption. Just fucking right.
I just think
and it's under religious exemption. So
Yeah.
that's my fucking religious freedom you're fucking stuff.
have you got a COVID vaccine?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't have any vaccines.
Man, I think you're taking risks. I just don't.
I'm from the third world. I'm okay with taking risks. I've already had everything. I've already had COVID, so I'm really not all that worried about it. And again, it's my risk, right?
The Delta variant is what made me get vaccinated. And before then, I didn't do it the whole time, but then the Delta variant came out. And I only got fully vaccinated at the end of July was my first shot. But I just was like, this is probably not, what I was concerned about was like no long-term data on the effects of that vaccine. But in the end, I was just like, it's, what I don't want to do is get a variant because I had the vaccine, the COVID.
And I think people should make that choice for themselves, right? Like I'm not denying you what you think is best for your health.
Yeah.
Why would you force me to do something that I don't think is good for my health? Is what I'm saying. Like everybody should have the right to make those choices.
But it's weird.
I don't have a problem with wearing a mask. I don't have a problem with washing my hands. I don't have a problem with staying the fuck home.
It's just. I just don't understand why that's the thing that's causing outrage. Like, there's so many problems.
Vaccines is actually the most contentious issue I have ever had anything to do with.
Why?
The most.
It's just like there's so many societal problems.
When you look at control and forcing compliance, that's the ultimate one. To be able to penetrate someone's biology with an agent that you don't have to disclose. That is the ultimate in control.
My issue with vaccines is not, I'm not so concerned about their effectiveness or any danger of them. I'm more concerned about the money like the pharmaceutical companies making off the government for giving it to us. Like, that's what I would prefer to see, and what I think would give people a lot more confidence is if the pharmaceutical companies were not allowed to make a profit.
I'm honestly really surprised at how many people are anti-government and just willing to let them into their body, because you can put 8 gigabytes of data on one droplet of urine, and I have no idea what they're programming. And I'm really surprised that so many people who are anti-government are just willing to let them into their biology.
Well, that's why I wanted to see long-term data once they started rolling it out. I wanted to make sure there weren't any side effects and weren't any other problems.
Well, the FDA has stated that they're experimental. They haven't passed any kind of threshold of testing or efficacy or safety or any of those things. And they're very open about it.
But
I mean, again, people can make their own choice. I don't, if people want to get vaccinated, I think they should have access. I don't think it should be. And for people who don't, I think that should also be.
But it's weird that that's like the outrage, right? But it's weird the cops are like, no, we're not going to get vaccinated. It's like, motherfucker, if there's someone at risk of getting it,
Because it's about that autonomy and like protecting Like, if I can't protect my biology, I've got nothing. How do my rights? How do I have any rights if I can't even protect my body? How do I have right to speech if I don't have a right to my mouth? How do I have a right to bear arms if I have no right to my hands or my arms? So definitely a lot of issues around freedom and autonomy and who gets to make decisions.
But should there be some sort of penalty if you get COVID and you spread it to someone who dies? Do you then have to get
I mean, was there a penalty for the white people that gave smallpox blankets and killed 90 million people?
No, there shouldn't be, right?
It should just not happen.
Yeah. But what would be the penalty for someone that isn't vaccinated that gets it to someone who dies? Or does happen, right? Scarring happens for older people with
I
their
think
lungs.
part of that is life is a risk. Living is a risk. Breathing is a risk. Moving in the world is a risk. Life is a risk. I've given birth to 5 babies, 4 of them at home. It was a risk.
Yeah.
So there's nothing in this. There's nothing foolproof about this existence. Everything is a risk. Everybody takes chances.
But I guess the point is to minimize risk, right?
Yeah. I minimize risk by, not eating sugar or saturated fat and eating organic food, right? That's the way that I choose to minimize some of my risk. Some people don't, right? Like they eat sugar and saturated fat and junk and but that's their choice and they get to have that choice.
Yeah, but then they get sick and then the taxpayer picks up their hospital.
That may be, but they're still not held responsible to that because if you look at that, like you can't mitigate all the causes of everything. That's living. Every time you breathe in oxygen, which you need to in order to survive, you're oxidizing your cells, which brings you closer to death. So the very thing that keeps you alive is what actually brings you closer to death.
Well, it was interesting seeing the protest. This thing, like, do you think someone that's close to falling out? And if someone's going to move this, it's good for. I don't give a shit if it's a car, but if it's on. But no, I mean, it was interesting. So Saturday there was a protest at the Capitol against, like, I think it was a mixture, but it was mostly vaccine mandates. But it was the right wing were there, and then there was also just like hippies there, and that was such a weird mixture of people. Because it wasn't like young hippies, but it was a lot of old, like, gray-haired hippies, and
so they probably had a lot in common.
Yeah, which was odd because they were being led by what was effectively a crowd with a megaphone.
That makes sense.
That was an odd moment. But yeah, it was interesting seeing those groups together. But also, it's like a pair of kids who are clearly from Wyoming, clearly like kitted out in like, someone's a real cowboy because they'll have jeans that are so far up their arse you can see the outline of their dicks, and so. Like this kid is just, and I presume was his sister, and they were probably less than 18 there with their cowboy boots and their skin-tight jeans with their little sign, and I was like, motherfucker, you live in the middle of nowhere in Wyoming, the chance of you getting COVID
This
is
is
so
the most
little.
amount of people you have seen ever.
It's just like go home and fucking round up some livestock, right? So that was funny. Anyway, I'm thinking
guess I'm missing the. So did you hear the guy come over here and say that he was looking for something? It was his dead mother's stuff. Isn't that awful? And the cop just says, I don't know. I don't know where it is. They don't care. I don't know what this is. I got like some kind of. It looks like a peppermint.
It's like a piece of candy.
It does. I don't know. Don't know how to work my camera, I guess. It's like. Where's it? What? Oh, see? No. I don't want to do that. So weird. Effects. Oh, I see. No, I don't want to do effects. So weird. That. Oh. Weird. Here we go.
We can get it all in one load.
Okay, cool.
But my point is that
I think it's a win-win too. Awesome. Everybody's happy.
well, it's also How is she exploding? I don't think many people. a good day.
You too.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, let's die anyway. Yeah, but it's very close to the top, right? That's okay.
You're gonna die anyway. Okay. Well, I'm glad he moved this. I think I'm gonna get going. It's pretty much done. Here we got Kelsey helping with vehicle support. I said you're helping with vehicle support. Yeah. 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 Yes. It's MCC. Further away. Here he is all packed up. We're all packed up. All the food I made brought today is gone. Hey. It's a good thing. We just got that one. We got a lot of stuff for here. Like I said, Kelsey's. Kelsey's got some vehicle support and help, and got things to do today. Remember, guys, we have a duty to fight for our freedom. We have a duty to win. We must love and support one another. And we have nothing to lose for our chance. Love you guys. See you again soon. Unfortunately.